This is a special presentation from the Metaverse Racing News Network.
All right, we are back. We are racing Upland Racing Series Harvest Season Championship Finals right here on the MRNN Network. I am joined, as always, by my good friend Dak, and we will be joined shortly by X1 the Gamer, who is going to come on and talk racing with us here shortly. But we've got a pretty exciting race happening today in the Upland Racing Series, and I am so far behind.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, the transition from one show to the next is a bit of a challenge, but hang on just a second here. I got it.
all right. In the
Quite all right,
meantime,
though. In the meantime,
Upland Racing Series. For those that don't know, Upland does an event where they actually will have everyone racing. They have a leaderboard, and the folks from that leaderboard that accumulate enough points or lowest times get to participate in a finals for some serious prizes.
yes, and this season, not only is it UpX prizes, but it's a really cool Block Explorer prize that they're giving away. um, for the top racers in each category. So this is the series where you can race in everything from karts all the way up to the stock car pros, and anything goes in the Upland Racing Series. You can use the consumables. You can boost up your cars. You can do all kinds of stuff as long as it doesn't exceed the max performance score for the class that you're in. And so just super awesome way to do it, and hats off to the Upland team for putting this all together for us today.
Yeah, it's always exciting to see, and it always brings so many more community drivers, and it's exciting because this is how we found some of the drivers that are now racing in URL.
Right. Yeah, this is for sure. And we're going to see a lot of the URL drivers up in the top ranks of this board as well. So let's go ahead and bring on our special guest today. Everybody, please welcome X1 the Gamer. How you doing, sir?
Hi, I'm doing really well. I apologize. I'm running in between meetings, and I was like, "Oh, I need to go get water if we're going to be doing these races." So I ran up to get water, and I'm just getting over a cold, so I apologize if my
All
voice
good.
is a little off. But
Yeah, you got
All
the professional setup. You're good.
yeah, no. So it feels like forever since we connected because we didn't have the finals
I
last
know.
season. So really excited to connect and have our finals this season.
I know this is so awesome, and just to kind of reiterate what's happening for everybody, we are doing the Upland Racing Series Harvest Season Finals. This is the top 12 drivers from the 173 to 226 MPS score leaderboard. Um, and this is an anything goes race. You can put any car you want to in there. You can add consumables. You can do whatever to reach that max performance score of 226 that you would like to do. And I am very interested to see how this plays out, what kind of car selection we end up having, who does what with consumables, as this is really the first public race that we've had with the consumables and with doing that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the power up. So it'll be interesting to see what added strategy that brings in and how it's utilized. Because I would imagine my thought process is there's going to be one or two consumables that ends up being the premier consumable to use. I don't know what those are, and then there might be some sneaky ones that that we don't expect. Oh, they used brake fluid really well or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's gonna be really interesting.
I got to tell you, I am very because in the URL we don't allow any. It's a straight up car thing, and so these consumables, we've seen the braking, how important braking is around the turns, but then also being able to pick up after a turn. We've also seen strategies where people kind of almost like speed through the turn, and even though they skid, they picked up so much momentum that it'll be interesting to see how the consumables can actually take advantage of that hairpin strategy, the hairpin turns.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I wonder, do you guys think it makes it more forgiving with these power ups? So for instance, I mess up on this turn, but I can recover real quick here because I now have this power up, or Or do you think that other players, just leave you in the dust with mistakes? Like, do you think it's more forgiving or less forgiving as a result?
I'm going to let Matt Chef jump in on that because he's done more racing. But I'll tell you one thing from my perspective is it adds more complexity to driving because now you have the consumables that you have to actually get to and utilize. The other thing is if you make a mistake currently, you'll pay for that mistake. So with the consumables, it does allow you to actually be able to take advantage of maybe easing your mistake, but I think it'll cause other mistakes. And so in the end, I think it might be a wash. But like everything, when someone figures out the key, they're going to dominate.
Yeah, no, I agree. The meta as it gets figured out will be
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at who is in our first race today. We have these broken off, and today is City Pigeon, Matsuda, Cruiserito, Phalos, Acapropi, and Alejo are all in race number 1. We currently have 3 of those racers in the race lobby getting ready. Matsuda is now in, and we can take a look at this through myupland.info. We have a lobby ticker there that tells us who's in the lobby, what they're if they're qualifying yet, or what's going on, and so that helps us keep track of when we can actually join in on the race. So super awesome tool there. And
where are we racing?
We are racing on the London track. This is the Big Ben Monument track in London. Now this track is crazy. This is the shortest of all the monument tracks, but it still has 30 turns in it. This thing is nuts.
Yeah, it's a lot. That what is it? Section 26 through 30 right there, I think is going to be the most difficult.
It
and
is.
also like 6 through 10 is pretty tricky too.
Yes, so we do have 5 of our 6 drivers in the track right now.
Who's missing?
That's why I was just trying to see of who we're missing here. Whoops, wrong slide. Acapropi, Lilo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are missing Phalos.
Oh, and Acropoppy got an error. Oops.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows how this works, it works the exact same as it does in the Upland Racing League. If you error out, then your position is moved down the board accordingly, because it's just like your car didn't start. You had problems with your vehicle out on the track. It happens in racing, and it happens here too. So, erroring out, it doesn't take you out of the top 12, but it does reduce your place in that top 12 finish position.
Yep.
So
let me ask you guys, out of here, our Heat 1 racers, City Pigeon, Matsudar, Cruiserito, Phalos, Agropropi, and Eljog. How do I say the last name?
Alejo.
Alejo.
There we go. That's my terrible Spanish right there. Who do you guys have favorites? Who do you think who's the cream of the crop here? We
have a couple of pretty cool stories that have kind of unfolded as this season has come along. My favorite is got to be City Pigeon. If you look at the leaderboard, City Pigeon is on the top of every single board. In every category. He has put in the hours to do into racing and to get up on those boards. So right now, City Pigeon is my pick.
Hey, so Mass, Phalos is not showing up. We've got less than a minute. You want to jump in?
Yep. I am going in now. So I'm going to go in and just ride around in a Series 2 so that we can get our races with no power-ups, of course. So I'll just be hanging around in the background as we do these.
All right, and huge shout out to everybody who has joined us here. I think we're live everywhere on Twitter, including. So if you're watching on Twitter for the first time, welcome. YouTube, of course, on the Upland Racing League channel, welcome. Thank you for being here. For those of you that are new and don't know, this is the season racing finals. This is the harvest season. So each season in Upland, there is racing and there's leaderboards and there's a top tier leaderboard. That's our championship series. And today's races are determining who's going to get first place in the championship series. Now, this series goes year long, and the top 12 players will get points towards the championship series leaderboard. And then next June, a championship series king is crowned, and that's all she wrote. It's the best of the best are in this race. So it's really exciting. It makes for some great racing and just a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I love the fact that you kind of have that annual perspective with the big race down at it's during like Genesis time period, right?
Correct. Yeah. So that the racing finals will be during around Genesis week. So
Always a celebration.
always a celebration. Yeah. So if anybody is interested, make sure we have multiple leaderboards from beginning, from beginners, carts, lower tier cars, all the way up to the souped up tier 1 championship series that we're watching today. But make sure join every season. It's a lot of fun. Come over, hang out with the Upland Racing League, get to know racing, get to know the community, and enjoy the cars, because some of these cars are amazing, just works of art. And then you combine that with a skilled driver, and it's next level. So
I gotta say, while Mass Chef is finishing his qualifier and getting us ready, I've been with this since the very beginning, and one of the things I've always said about Upland with racing and the whole automotive, market space, is you've always been putting out little by little more and more functionality, and it's been building and building, and the economy around racing and automotive manufacturing and so forth has been evolving, and so it's nice to see that progression.
yeah, no, absolutely. And for those of you who may have not had a chance to review the recent roadmap, one thing that's coming is Sparklet's going to be powering cars and automobiles here in the future. That's on the most, the immediate roadmap that we just announced. So that's going to change cars and travel in the game of Upland as well. Upcoming. All right, are we ready? Is this it?
This is it. We're getting ready to go live.
Oh, I'm so excited. One thing that's cool. So these are monument tracks, which means these tracks, these speedways, the highlight of the speedway is the monument. So we've got Houses of Parliament there. We've got Big Ben there that you're going to see here on the map. And that's what makes these races, these finals extra special.
I love it.
Sorry, just a quick question.
Yeah,
for those that are new, is there what this season? I know, for instance, like the UK S1 dominated a few seasons, then stock car dominated. What's the car of choice that players are using here in these top tier races?
I see a lot of S1Es, a lot of S1Rs. Stock Car Pro naturally is going to be in there. Just kind of depends on, how you want to set up your car and race. Especially with the consumable stuff and the power-ups. I think we're going to start to see some things evolve as people start to figure out what is the best combination for racing.
And I think the consumables will make an impact because some will be able to take the brakes and stuff better. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how they use them.
Yeah, I'm curious. I
think someone wants to do airplane racing.
Yeah. Airplane is 1R.
Airplane racing, that would be interesting. That would be fun. Then you could imagine viewing not just from the, going in between the buildings and structures as racing. Yeah. That'd be cool. That's a cool idea.
That'd be pretty sweet. All right, so hopefully we didn't get too many error outs here.
So this is heat 1. We have 2 heats here, and then we're taking the top from each heat to race for the final.
Yes,
right. So we take the top 3.
Top 3 from each heat race will go into the finals for all the marbles, man.
Excellent. Maybe while we're waiting here, I'm not sure if everybody missed it, but the vote did finish for those who. Oh, here we go. Never mind. Hey, ignore me. We're gonna race. Let's go.
Let's go! And we are off. I break right off the bat so I don't get in anybody's way. And we're going to let these guys get off and running here. We've got City Pigeon taking the lead, jumping right out there, right off the bat. Alejo in second place, Cruzerito in third right now, skidding around these corners.
Yeah,
And
this is that first difficult section, I think, of the track here. Be interesting to see how players handle this.
Everybody got through there pretty well, from what I could tell. Aka probably making a move to jump up into second place there. Everybody stacking up into third. And I see a UK edition there. Looks like, who is that? Aka Proppy maybe in his UK. I know he's got one.
Jump into the car view.
Seems to be extending his lead there. Matsudar used a boost there, it looks like, to catch up, to close that gap.
And let's see what it looks like from our in-car camera here. Not quite able to see, just barely able to see the back end of City Pigeon's car there.
I like the special structures.
Yeah, that's like a Dramamine section right there when you're inside the car. I mean, that thing is...
Yeah, one thing to note here is on the monument tracks, this one in particular is shorter than some of our past monuments. So you notice we're already on lap 2, everyone.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, and I actually made a note of that when we first came on the air, that this is a considerably shorter track than what most of the monuments are. This one's only 2.12 miles, where I think all the other monument tracks are 5 miles plus, some of them. So
yeah, so half the
distance,
more than half, yeah.
Yeah, more than
that
half.
was actually one of my questions to Mess. Is like, okay, what's the runtime on this? Because you got to kind of plan out for runtime and all. He's like, no, it's actually pretty fast.
I'm like, nope, this is going to be quick.
City Pigeon just dominating here at the front, running really smooth. Cruzerito trying to close that gap. What car is City Pigeon using? Do we know?
It looks like he is in a S1. Let me jump down to his car here.
Yeah.
I believe that is just a Series 1 with some boost, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see the final. We'll be able to see when we get to the finishing screen.
Skilled on that braking, handling those corners really well. Didn't see any skidding there.
No. And
oh, there's one.
Yeah, that's a tough corner, but still.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
Mm.
That's just braking, not skidding. That's okay.
Yeah. Here we go. We are on the final lap.
City Pigeon still with
City Pigeon with a huge lead now. Cruzerito has come up in the second place there, and for those that don't know, we've got the Upland Garage is a place where one of the servers that everybody's racing on, that a lot of people are racing on. They do kind of unique races. It's a lot of fun. They do combination races where you'll race on Track Hero, and you'll race in a kart, and you'll race in a car, and your combined time from all three races determines the winner. So City Pigeon taking the win there. Cruzerito in second. Matt Suter comes across the line in third, and that'll be our first qualifiers for the final race. Alejo in fourth, Akaprapi coming in fifth, and of course myself wrapping around the track here.
Yeah, excited to see that time breakdown because City Pigeon was flying. Congratulations to City Pigeon. It'll be interesting to see as we get, the final races here in heat number 2, if he can do that twice.
Yeah.
Yes. And so as I was saying, City Pigeon, also Cruzerito does a lot of racing in the Upland Garage racing. Dak, can you grab a screenshot of that?
Yeah, that's a 10 seconds. 3:22 coming in for first place, City Pigeon. Cruzerito coming in to 10 seconds later, 3:32, and then 3:34 for third place. So the gap, it was pretty spread out here, and that may be due to power-ups. That may be due to the added strategy here with power-ups on such a short course. Who's using what kind of combination are you using? So it's no longer strictly
Yeah.
strictly vehicle.
So we did see a few power ups here. We've got looks like some oil power ups for City Pigeon there.
And
I'm
some
not sure what the other one is.
nicotine gum, I think that is. So
Yeah,
definitely
nicotine gum. Yeah, yeah.
use the top speed boost and some brake oil. So interesting combination. There is
Yeah.
that the winning combination, at least for this race, it was.
So it's yeah, because that took his series one from a 173 NPS score up to a 224, which matches the Stock Car Pro Series vehicle. So I can't wait to see our next race what they're going to do as well, because that's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I
Even
wonder if people are going
to
to be tracking what the top racers are using in these races to start building that meta, as X1 mentioned.
right. All right, we're going to go ahead and start setting up heat number two. Let's take a look at who is in heat number two today. We have Crowley 27, who is going to be our starter as the second place qualifier in the leaderboards, along with San Mahoney and Risey, who are both coming off of or out of the Mahoney MV Motorsports team. Wanderer 1976, Almost Human, and DC Sup 22A. Also, who has now DC has been in the finals before. He was in the finals in the Frost season finals, and he was also in the Genesis season finals. So he's no stranger to what's going on here.
Yeah.
So
Also, I apologize. I called it brake fluid. It's the nitrile fuel charge. So it's the nicotine gum and nitrile fuel charge combo that looked like it was the most common last race. So we'll see what players use this race, but it's really interesting.
yes, yes, for sure. And I got to give kudos to Upland for reducing the price for the consumables on that last bundle drop. That was awesome. It was much needed. So that was super cool. So kudos to you guys for doing that.
Yeah, no,
Um,
the racing team has done a great job. They took the feedback, saw it. We also, for those that did purchase power ups in the first bundle, they were dropped the difference between the first and second bundle, so they were able to get some extra ones there. Yeah, I mean the purposes of these power ups is to use them. So
mhm.
they were a little overpriced there, so players weren't using them. So lowering that and making sure they're out there in mass, so you can experiment with them, you can use them, you can benefit.
Yes.
So for those of you that don't know, since we talked about the nicotine gum power up and the nitrile fuel increases your acceleration and the nicotine increases your handling, so or improves your handling rather. So that combination, at least on this track, was the winning combo for heat one. It'll be interesting to see what that winning combo is for heat two.
Handling is always going to be a nice in these, because
Yeah.
that's the error that you make is the skidding out, and that's the one that everyone takes advantage of. And handling is going to be key to that to minimizing that error.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
and I also think too that the braking has become so important. And when you have those those extra boosts in there, that can increase your speed faster coming off of a braking or off of a hard brake turn. Also, really just makes a difference. So that changes when you have the Stock Car Pro, which takes off of the line a little bit faster than the Series One.
mm,
You can. I just think the endless combinations that can happen around the consumables is pretty awesome.
yeah. Yeah,
All
no,
right, we ready to get the lobby going?
Yep, whenever you are.
All right.
Go ahead and get Cruiserito in there and get the lobby going. So while they finish setting up this lobby, I do want to quickly just talk about a couple of things. So obviously, I'm out in the community, racing community. I spend a lot of time racing. I'm out in the fast track community racing karts with those guys. I go in and race with the Uplink Garage guys. I raced in a couple events that Creedmoor Hub had. Um, One of the things that I think is and I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here a little bit, X1, because you can't come on a live show without somebody putting you on.
yeah, that's what we're here for.
And we do have the code, by the way. Crowley has posted the code in the driver channel for those who are interested. Dak, if you want to give a quick rundown of who's supposed to be in there one more time.
Sure, we have Crowley, Sam Mahoney, Risey, Wonder in 1976, Almost Human, and DCS Up 22A.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So we got DCN, Crowley's in, San Mahoney's in, Almost Human is in now. There we go. So we're just missing Risey and 1, 2, 3. We're missing Risey and
Sam
Wanderer.
Mahoney, Wanderer.
Wanderer
So
1976 is in now.
yeah,
So back to my question. So one of the things that I know that the community is really asking for, and I have to agree with them on this, is some sort of a braking indicator. Is that
Okay.
something that could potentially be in the pipeline in the future? Because and the reason that I bring it up is one of the main parts of racing is since braking has become such an integral part of racing, especially if you're racing anything other than a kart, you do have to utilize the brake, and sometimes in a kart too, but not very often. um, I think one of the biggest things that has come across the boards is that you don't know when somebody in front of you is braking. Is that something that you think might be in the future?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know if that's something that is being worked on, but definitely I mean, we'll pass it on and I'll follow up with the team. I do know the racing team reached out to me this morning and said we're saving some updates till after this. So after the finals are over, there will be some improvements and updates that they told me the
Awesome.
players will like.
smart
I don't
move.
know if that's braking indicators, to be clear, but I'll definitely pass it along. And yeah,
Awesome.
it makes sense from where I'm at. I don't know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is involved development wise, but
And then just one more, one more quality of life thing when it comes to racing, uh, that I want to suggest, and this was also brought up to me from some members of the community, is a rear view mirror when you're in cart view or when you're in
oh yeah,
car view.
that's cool. Yeah.
Just something across the top of the screen that's a little sliver of a rear view mirror would be awesome.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that would be really cool for sure.
so yeah, that's my two requests.
Yeah.
But all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have all racers on the board right now, so I'm jumping into spectate.
And this is heat number 2, everybody. We have our first 3 racers for the final. This is heat number 2. This is it. This is going to determine who makes the finals for the Harvest Season Championship Series championship. I think I said championship too many times, but whatever.
Whatever. The championship.
All right, so we can see here already who has selected what power-ups. It does look like, for instance, Crowley and Wanderer going with that nicotine nitro fuel charge combo there.
Hmm.
We have people going with no power-ups and instead topping out their vehicle. Interesting. It is an interesting combo. Let's see if
Yeah,
this
we got
may be the meta.
right. We've got what 1, 2, 3 series, Pro Series vehicles in this one. Crowley doing the same combination that City Pigeon did with the Series 1 and his 2 power ups. So interesting. It'll be interesting to see if that combination works for a second time.
Yeah, and you can
For
see the
sure.
different colors there between Wanderer and Crowley. So the black is the basic, so it boosts you, but not as much as the enhanced or max. White is actually enhanced. Yellow would be the max. So
Mhm.
you could see he's using that middle, enhanced. Obviously, the MPS score is different for each of those rarities. So this seems to be Crowley's choice and Wanderer's choice. It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out here.
But Sam Mahoney, look at that. His lap time.
Ooh.
Yeah, that 109 is pretty fast
Yeah, what was
No power ups.
with
what
no power ups, right?
Yeah, with no power ups. Ooh.
Yeah, he went straight power on the car.
He went raw power
Rawr.
today. Just
He's like, I don't need no stinking gum.
yeah, maybe while we're waiting for this to load up, we can take care of some house business. We did have the vote today on locking properties. That did go through with a yes. So stay tuned. We will make an announcement on next steps we won't do anything without announcing and then giving timelines, etc. So it was a vote. Expect to have more of these votes more frequently. This was kind of like our first jump start. So it went really well. Watching the debate, watching the discussion happen by everybody is not only helpful on our side, but it's also just super interesting to see, you know, what players' thoughts are, what their suggestions are. And I think it was a really healthy dialogue overall.
I agree. Like I said, you know, I was on the Upix podcast last night, and we had a sometimes heated discussion about it, but it was good that we could come together as a community, discuss what the benefits and downfalls were to either side, and really have a a useful and helpful discussion. Hopefully, it was helpful to the community as well.
It's good when people are having discussions. It's dangerous when everyone's quiet.
Yeah. We don't know. It's like being in the fog. Like, what is
Yeah.
everyone, what's
Right?
out there? What's everyone thinking?
Okay, can you figure out what Milready is saying? Seems to be about Tokyo.
Something Tokyo. Yep. Is that Portuguese? My Portuguese is not so good.
So visit in Tokyo for their runs. I guess they have a track in Tokyo.
Very cool.
Oh, they do have a track in Tokyo. Yes, they do.
Very cool. What's interesting too, we're talking about the power-ups here, and we're making a big deal about them because this is the first finals that we've had power-ups in. But this combo, we're going to see if this combo works here. Crowley's going with the same as City Pigeon. Does this work? This may work on this track, but a longer track, a track maybe with different layout, maybe with longer stretches of road. Maybe it's a different set of combinations that work. So you're not only going to get combinations for players and cars, but then per track, we'll probably have combinations as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially if you know, we're talking about some of the longer monument tracks. You know, perhaps you know, the boosting hot sauce is a better way to go on those tracks. Who knows? You know, where you have long stretches of straightaway and so on.
Yeah, I would imagine hot sauce and energy drink. Hot sauce is like an extra nitro, and then the energy drink is your top speed.
Your top speed.
Yeah,
right.
if there's straightaways, I would imagine that you
That's
would
gonna
just
be-
hammer those on those straightaways. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, what comes to mind is Lusail. You know, the Lusail monument track is something that kind of comes to mind because of the long straights that are on that track. Might be good to have some of those power ups.
All right, here we go. Good luck to everyone.
All right, here we go, and we are off. Sam Mahoney getting the start. Nope, Crowley 27 jumps up there into the lead.
Yeah, uses that boost right away. Oh my goodness, and
Oh my
collision.
goodness, giant pile up there with Crowley and Risey both coming out on top. Risey now taking over the first place spot with that Stock Car Pro, but Crowley not backing down in his boosted up S1E.
Yeah, that collision changed everything, rearranged everybody there, right?
Yep.
That is what always, it taking advantage of errors in racing has now become a real thing.
Yes.
We've seen
And-
people go from 6th to like 2nd because of a smash up, and they just cruise through it.
Yep. And we're still Risey in first, Crowley in second. Sam
Crowley is
Mahoney trying to make his way up into the third place spot there and trying to catch up to 1 and 2. Risey and Crowley are going to kind of flip-flop as we go around this first lap, coming up on the finish line here for the first lap. Risey using a boost to jump up there in front.
Handling these turns okay.
And Mahoney caught up.
Sam Mahoney jumping up into the third place spot there.
Ooh.
Oh, and here goes DC coming up into third place now. Oh my goodness. Here we go.
And Sam Mahoney takes that third spot right back.
Yeah.
Risey still holding on to first, but no, there goes Crowley.
There goes Crowley right around him. Let's see if Risey can come out of this crash. And
No, there you go.
goodness. Sam Mahoney sneaking right up in between them to jump into first place with Risey able to get out of that little hairy turn section there. I like to say my phrase of chicanes.
Chicane.
coming out of there nicely. But we're in a battle now for first between San Mahoney and Risey on this
Well,
heat number 2.
that's the last thing you want to see as a driver is having the Mahoney team dominating first and second because they won't let you pass.
Yeah, that I mean, how many lead changes have we seen so far in this race? And we're only on lap 2. Will there be any more in lap 3 here?
And
I
there we
think now
go.
I think it's defined now.
Yeah, I think we're pretty defined now. We've got unless some mistakes happen. We've got San Mahoney rising 1 and 2, Crowley still in third, DC holding on to that 4th place spot, but now Wanderer kind of takes that over. Things happen so fast. It's like as soon as I say something or announce something, something else happens, and it's changed.
Yeah, this race has been high adrenaline so far, to say the least.
Right?
It's
And
actually
here comes Crowley using a boost, trying to get past Risey, and he does make it past Risey on that straight, but Risey's still trying to hold in there. And it's going to be tough to make the pass around again, but let's see what happens here.
Yeah, this is where I think track knowledge really comes into play. How he handles the turns. Can he keep him off? Can he keep him from overtaking?
And I've seen this a lot more, the swerving in and out of lanes. Before, people would pick a lane and just stay in it. Now people really do try to block out other players and stuff. Yeah. It's a lot more fun.
And I didn't know if you noticed there, but Risey tried to use a boost. Crowley blocked him out and then used his own boost to put some distance between himself and Risey back on that straight there. So some of this playing out. San Mahoney making his presence felt after winning the Upland Racing Series Week 6 finals not more than 20 minutes ago. He's going to come in here and dominate this heat number 2 race with a 3:33.502 run. Very nicely done there by San Mahoney. Crowley coming in second with a 3:39.464, and Risey in third with a 3:41.036. So that sets our finals for today's race, with race number 1 being City Pigeon, Cruiserito, and Matsuda. Race number 2 as San Mahoney, Crowley, and Risey. Let's see, Dak, do you see who got the low time?
City Pigeon. By
City
a lot.
Pigeon, I think, still had that 10 seconds. He came in at 3:22, I want to say.
3:22. Yeah, by a lot.
There's still that 10-second gap that no one was able to close. Let's see, can he repeat that here in the final race?
It's going to be interesting. Let's see if he uses the same strategy.
Right. All right, Dak, why don't you go ahead and get our drivers set up for the final race, have City Pigeon start the lobby, and we are going to jump away for a quick commercial. We'll be right back.
Get ready for next season, everybody. Winter Wonderland is the next season. We're a few weeks away from it. We've got about 2 weeks in between the season here. These races kind of cap us off, and it should be good. So huge shout out and thank you to everybody who was able to pick up a cosmetic pass. Excited for next season. Excited to see the cosmetic pass evolve with more. Stay tuned. More options to personalize yourself inside of Upland. So it's very exciting.
Excellent.
One thing
Love it.
maybe we could talk about that now while we're waiting to get our finals. This is the final race, everybody, set
This
up.
is
But
it. Top
so
6 spots.
we have season racing as each and every season. We also have stock car, and we have stock car specific tracks. We have stock car passes that you can get, stock car collectibles. One thing that we've yet to do is any sort of regular series racing with stock car. Well, stay tuned, because this off season, we're going to have a stock car series race start up. This will be our first one. It'll be regular. It'll happen every off season. And stay tuned. Those details will drop on Monday. It will be based on stock car racing mechanics. So think of laps. Think of how stock cars have to do laps. And so there'll be something there with that. But stay tuned. All the details will come in next week sometime. Keep an eye out for that, and then you'll be able to race exclusively your stock cars against each other on stock car tracks.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't tell you how excited I am about that.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. We will tweak it in between, just like we tweak season racing, racing season in and season out. So stock car, this will just be our first iteration of that. It'll happen in off seasons, and it should be a lot of fun, something to look forward to for our racers every single off season.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait for that. Let's see how we're doing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're only missing one driver, and that driver is.
Well, who do you have?
7, 1, 2, 3. Nope. One City Pigeon, Matsuda, Sam Mahoney, Crowley, and Cruzarito. So we are missing
I didn't hear
Risey.
Risey.
Missing Risey.
So, while we're waiting for someone that's watching this, maybe for the first time, and they are seeing these races and they're thinking to themselves, man, this is awesome. What are tips for new players? What car would you recommend for a new player? How to get involved with racing? Where should players go? Stuff like that.
So the first thing I'll say is go get yourself a cart. Start with that, because that will teach you the track mechanics, as far as taking the insides of turns, learning the basics of how to get around the track, and then kind of move your way up from there. Carts, in my opinion, is the easiest thing to start with. You're not going to get overpowered with power. Um, However, with that said, I will say that kart racing is completely different than car racing, because carts are all MPS the same. They're all 80 MPS, and it adds it makes the qualifying lap way more important, because your position in the qualifier uh, really determines how well you're able to maneuver through the pack with a cart. So start with a cart first and foremost. Get out there and learn how to get yourself around the track. Learn how to start races. Learn how to get into community racing, that sort of thing. And then from there, the sky's the limit. There's lots of servers out there that do racing. There's the Upland Garage, the Fast Track community, the Upland Racing League, and several others. They do racing over in the Creedmoor server. They do racing in Quailwood. They do racing at the Hyde Park Ninjas. So there's racing that you can do just about everywhere, with every type of car that there is out there. But I would encourage everybody, and of course, jump into the next season of the Upland Racing Series, because you can race any vehicle in that series with the exception of the stock car trainer. That one doesn't fit into an MPS category, but any other vehicle you are good to race with. So you can use the trainer if you got some boosts and want to put it into a higher tier. But yeah, that's my recommendation.
Yeah, and the cool thing about carts, number one, there's so many options out there because players can create carts. And number two, what is out there is amazing. Like you want a cool, I don't know, Americana 4th of July cart. There's that. You want something super creepy or something super classic, like a classic neon kart racer. someone's made that for you. So a lot of options, and I just collecting them for the artwork alone is cool. What is designed with carts blows my mind.
Oh, I know. And honestly, in my opinion, carts have become a collector's item, just because of the fact that there's the artistic factor of owning a cart,
Yeah.
or creating a cart, and there's so many different interesting ones out there, that it makes it really really cool. All
We're
right,
racing.
we are. Let me add this back up here.
All right, here we go. This is the finals, everyone. This is for you get your badge as a season winner here, coming in top 3. You get the top points on the series leaderboard, which right now on the leaderboard everybody is tied at 15 points, I believe, because we had some issues with last season racing. So this is the first season that's going to set these players apart, and set everyone up for next season on the championship series leaderboard.
Ooh, exciting.
So City Pigeon, number 1. Do you remember the layout there for?
So let's see. City Pigeon got the first spot. San Mahoney in second spot. Crowley in third. Risey in fourth. And here we go. We are off. Nice clean start to get things going here.
Yeah.
City Pigeon comes out in the lead right off the gate, followed by Risey and San Mahoney and Matsuda. You've got all 3 drivers from the Mahoney team in this final race here. So this could be interesting, along with both of the Upland Garage guys.
Ooh, neck
Oh,
and
my
neck. Oh my goodness.
That was some
That
nice.
was awesome. City Pigeon making his way through there, and Risey trying to come up with a pass, and City Pigeon able to hold him off at the end there, to get out into the lead. And that's what we're talking about, folks. This is just crazy. Now Risey and San Mahoney making their way up into the second and third place spot. And I just saw a crash back there, and it was a huge crash. Matsuda and Crowley both getting into
each other out
back there, took each other out. Giving Cruzerito a free pass up into the fourth place spot and able to try to make some room. City Pigeon now off to a huge lead.
Is he going to break his time? This is what's going to be interesting. Here, remember, he's got the enhanced nitro gun. That's the handling. But that nitro fuel charge, you could see it, especially once he got past and he made it around that corner on the straightaway. That acceleration, you'll see it right here. The acceleration from the nitro fuel charge that he has on there really picked up.
Yeah. We're really going to see it right here on this stretch, as he goes into this fairly long.
Yeah, look at right there.
Right there.
That's some major pickup.
That really makes a difference. San Mahoney in second place, kind of all alone now. Risey in third, all alone. We've stretched out the field quite a bit here with these 3 drivers. Cruzerito trying to make his way up into the third place position. Crowley, 27, still sticking around in fourth, and he is coming up on Cruzerito now. So we'll see if we can get a pass here. Nope, not quite yet.
So I am definitely going to be interested in talking a little bit about the economics of these consumables and what they do to the prices of cars. Because I think City Pigeon is going to have a major impact on the prices of cars after this race.
Yeah, this will. I mean, you don't necessarily need the top dog. You get yourself some quality, and he doesn't even have the top power up. He has that mid-tier enhanced power up that he's utilizing it effectively. He may have just changed the game forever. I mean, there's an evolution happening here that we're witnessing. This is historic.
Yeah. But what it does is, if he's using an S1, just a plain old S1, and then using those tier ups to kind of get this competitive, it actually opens it up again to being a lot more democratic in terms of who can race, because you don't need a pro or an S1E to be able to race at this level of competitiveness.
So as we're talking, we've got City Pigeon coming into the finish line right now.
Let's see his time.
Whew!
1:03 lap time is huge.
Ooh, yeah.
San Mahoney's going to take the second place spot. Risey looks like he's going to take the third. Cruiserito is going to come in here in fourth. We're going to catch everybody as they come across the line here. There's Cruiserito in fourth, Crowley in fifth, and Matsuda coming in
Wow.
sixth place. Wow.
Yeah, that
What a race.
What a race. What a series here.
What a series. What a race. Congratulations to City Pigeon. Now, I want to, as I said before, we had a couple of stories that were unfolding here, and City Pigeon is one of those stories. There was some controversy in the Blossom season, that we're not going to talk about right now. But between Genesis season and now Harvest season, City Pigeon has made it his mission to come out and prove to everybody what kind of a driver he is in Upland, and he has dominated this season across the board. City Pigeon finished first place in every single racing category that there is in the Upland Racing Series. He took the first place on every single leaderboard and does not disappoint today with this championship final, taking first place once again. Amazing performance by City Pigeon. I can't say it enough. Definitely deserved win.
Yeah, well done. I mean, this was just a competitive heat, especially with the top six here. But to Dak's point, the racing evolution has begun. This is kind of that stamp. City Pigeon has put his stamp on racing here. His strategy, what power ups he's used. How does this evolve going forward? How do other racers and players counter?
I just realized City Pigeon did change his power-ups. He has the gold jug.
Oh, did he? So he went max performance on Nitro.
He went max performance.
Well, that's that acceleration that we saw. That acceleration was next level there. I mean, you really saw the zip take off on that straightaway. So
yeah, so it was interesting. And then the Mahoney team came in with all pro series.
Yeah.
And no power-ups, and they got second and third. But they also have been practicing tracks and have team mechanics down.
Yeah.
And so that shows, and so, the traditional team mechanics and knowing the track still pays off. There's no substitution for experience.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, still viable strategy. I wonder if they'll make any adjustments going forward. Does City Pigeon make any adjustments going forward? How is it countered? Do you use a lower car and go max performance across the board on your power-ups? It's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah, and it was funny. I was telling Mass as we were getting in, they were in there like to the last minute, just running different tracks. And I had seen the speed scores, 224, 225. Like they were trying different variations and seeing what worked.
Yeah, it's impressive, guys. For everybody, and people may look at this and say, well, this is not Forza. Upland Racing is definitely not Forza. It's not skill-based. There's a different skill set here. It's a strategic skill. It's a gamesmanship kind of skill that takes place here. And that's why I love it. I think it's a ton of fun to watch these guys take everything to the next level. So
yes, I would agree that it's I would agree that it is a different set of skills because it's not just about controlling your car around the track. It's about learning what cars can do what and learning what cars can do what with what power ups. So there's that added skill in there as well. So I know years ago there was talk about BEs being able to learn um, skills while racing, and I don't know where that is on the roadmap or if it's even still considered anymore. But I think that that would also continue to add layers to what we have going on here.
Yeah, I think this is our first major evolution here with power ups. I think we'll continue to see racing evolve and become even more skill based with this very specific. Again, we're never going to be Forza where you're controlling every turn in your actual racing, but we will continue to be this strategic mindset, skill based, decision making, kind of managing your race properly type of skill set that the racing will take.
Well, and we've seen just with the cars, and remember when racing started, there were three elements that were going to impact racing: the track, the driver, and the car. right? That was the original vision.
Mhm.
We've seen what's happened with the car. If Upland can start to kind of implement that for the track next, because that's probably easier than the BEs. So you can start to implement weather, for example, because right now it's always sunny in
Yeah.
Philadelphia,
Yeah.
right? And and so once you implement that, and it's just simple, like just wet, wet or dry, right? And so now you'll have to change what you want to do and what car you want to race. And
Mm.
so just those simple changes start to change the equation of who races what, when. Are you doing wet tires or dry tires, right? Or slicks, right? Like, are you
Yeah.
running your slicks or what?
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see the evolution as more features get added to the different categories of racing.
100%. This was our best season finale I think that we've done yet. This was exciting. It was fun. It was interesting. Huge shout out and thank you to the Upland Racing League who works with Upland here to help host this. You guys are great, a fantastic community. Anybody watching, anybody tuning in live now, go join the Upland Racing League Discord server. Check them out on Twitter. Follow them. Subscribe to the YouTube channel here and get into racing because you can see where we're going. I don't think you guys fully understand how exciting this was, or how big of a step this was with the power-ups compared to last season, for instance, or the
Yeah.
last time we were together.
And I agree with the statement that I do believe that City Pigeon has changed the face of racing forever, starting today.
Yeah, and well done. Congratulations, City Pigeon. He's going to go up. He's going to get the top points for the
Yeah.
harvest season racing. He is now your leader in the series, in the championship series. That'll be updated sometime next week. Stay tuned. We'll announce it. We'll drop it. And then also stay tuned, guys. Stock car racing is on its way. There
We
will be an
love
announcement
stock
next
car
week for
racing.
that. So get ready. Get ready to get your stock
Can,
cars.
cannot wait. I got mine out and polished up and ready to go.
Awesome. I'll let you guys close it off. I have to run to another meeting, but thank you. And again, thank you, everybody. Thank you to all our racers. City Pigeon. Whew, I'm blown away. What you did
And
here was special.
and thank you, X1. As always, we appreciate you, and
Yeah.
we'll look forward to seeing you next time.
We'll see you guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a good
Thank
one.
you. Wow.
All right. Wow. What a race. Congratulations, everyone who finished on the top of that leaderboard today. It's a monumental race that you have raced today, and historic. That's all I can say.
I was a little skeptical about the consumables, but I got to tell you, the flexibility and what City Pigeon was able to do with an S1,
Amazing.
I mean,
Yep.
it really does open up the possibilities of how people race so that every car can actually be viable.
Yep.
Maybe not the passenger van. Almost Human, I don't think the passenger van will still do it, but pretty good.
Right? All right, folks. That does it for us for today for racing. We'll catch you next week when we are live from the MMVM Speed Blitz Raceway. And you all have a fantastic week. Until then, we will see you on the track.